Like, you know when you do things and you don't really know why, but you keep feeling like you need to do it? That is your intuition. And that one decision and following that one gut instinct literally changed my whole life. And I know sometimes our brain will lead us down paths of things that we've already done because maybe we're used to that and we know that that's going to be solid and that that's going to work out. But what if that little like feeling or your gut instinct was telling you that it's going to work out, right? It never is too late. Good morning, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Christmas time. I love Christmas time. It feels so freaking good to relax and soak up the holidays. Like, oh, it's just so cozy and so, I love it. My lips have already been so freaking chapped. I was also sick for 2 weeks and it was not fun at all. So I just put, where is it? Just put some Aquaphor on it and it's really healing. So today I thought I would do a get ready with me. And I wanted to talk about why it's literally never too late to start and do what you want to do. First, okay, I do my makeup so backwards. It is so weird. First, I literally go and do my eyebrows because they take 10 years, but guess what? They are sisters, not twins. And then I put on my face lotion. I'm going to lunch today and I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get some tacos. I love tacos so much. Then I go over them with a makeup wipe and kind of clear them up, and then I put on my lotion. And then now I always put on my eye cream in the morning. And I know like in the winter time I get really bad eczema, so this stuff is beautiful. Here's the brand. I don't know if you could see it. This is the brand. And I'm pretty sure it's like all natural products, and I really need to get better at that this year, but it's been really good on my skin. And then I've been using this, it's like moisturizing face lotion from Trader Joe's, and it has sunscreen in it, which is really good to put on your face every day, even if you're putting it under makeup, I think. I don't really know, but I do. Oh, next is literally my favorite part. This feels so good. It's called, I know I definitely pronounce it wrong, but it really helps my inflammation. But yeah, this just feels good, and it's like really cold and it feels so nice. Sometimes you can do it in the shower too. Sometimes I put it on my neck too because you don't want to forget your neck. I live in Portland, and in the winter time it is not fun. All it does is just constantly rain. It rains in the winter time, so when I can feel the sun, it's like amazing. And then sometimes, I don't know if it actually really helps, but I have this green little pen and I use it on red marks on your face, and it's supposed to cancel out the color. I think it's called like a color corrector. I don't know if it actually works, but. And then concealer by NYX, the Can't Stop Won't Stop, is so good. Oh my gosh, it's my favorite concealer. And then I literally just like carve out my eyebrows with my concealer before I put on my foundation. Yeah, so today I feel like I wanted to talk about you're never too old, it's never the wrong time, and it's never too late to do what you want to do or to choose you. And I feel like when I do my makeup in the morning, it is such a soul time for me. Like sometimes I'll just listen to, you know, water noises or meditation music or my podcasts, and then like right now with the sun in the morning, oh, it feels so good. It's like also my form of self-care. And next I also just put some concealer on my eyelids, especially for doing eyeshadow and stuff. I just like it. It just makes it more matte. And then I put a little bit on my nose. And I do my makeup so backwards. I literally do half my face first and then the other half, and that's just because if you get fallout from your eyeshadow, even though I know that they have patches, but that's just the way that I like to do it. And then here's the foundation part. Okay, now that literally half of my face is done, I'll literally go and put like setting powder on my eyelids, and then I go and put my eyeshadow, and I think I'm literally just gonna use my highlighters eyeshadow today. I'm just going in with my highlighter. I just know that sometimes life can feel so discouraging, especially like in this economy and in this time today with like the job market, or even your high school and college experience or your school experience in general can feel so different. especially with the changes and with COVID and with everything going on. And I know that moments like that can feel like your whole world. It really changes your perspective and outlook, and maybe, you know, the changes in the world have changed like your view on life and where you want to go and who you want to be and what you want to do. I know for me it definitely did, because our system and the way that it was working didn't necessarily feel aligned with me. So maybe it hasn't felt aligned with you. And I just kind of wanted to bring up like different stories in my life that I know felt like a big deal, but really were the right choice and the right path for me to make and the right decision. And I know for you, I don't know if you're going through that or you have gone through that. I know really big life decisions that we call big life decisions feel so big because maybe we're changing different aspects or parts of ourselves, or we're going into the unknown, and that can feel so scary. But I know for like me, say like in high school, I did so much of business stuff. Like I did DECA and marketing, and I thought that that was the path for me. And then I went into college and I started seeking that, and I was like, oh, I really want to do business. And then like 2 years into business school, I was like, no, I love psychology. And I had to do summer classes every summer and to make that life decision. But sometimes you just know in the moment, or your body's telling you these things along the way. Like if you constantly get this reoccurring feeling or thought that you want to try this new direction, or you could apply it to any area in your life for any decision, and you're gonna know, because you're gonna not be able to stop thinking about it or desiring it or wanting to learn about it. And that's okay, because I know for me, I was like, oh, I did all this work in this one specific area, and it was hard to be like, oh, do I want to change that? But it was really the best decision for me. And that's why it's never too late. Like it's never too late. Even if you've been in a relationship or a job, or you've lived in an area your whole life, or you've been there for 10 years, or even if it's like 2 months and you realize, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, that's a good thing. You know, and that's a good reason and sign to listen to that. And you know, nothing is ever a waste. And I know I went through that, especially when I was in a really abusive relationship that really affected every avenue of my life. Like I don't even recognize that girl anymore, like who I used to be. But really nothing was ever a waste, because we always pick up these skills or these lessons or these reasons, or you meet a specific person, or you know, you gain that one specific unique life experience or knowledge or wisdom, which is all power that you can use for the future, right? It's all these little things that we're meant to accumulate to the next step in our life. And then next, I literally put a little bit of green on my cheeks because my cheeks aren't naturally rosy, and it's just like the color corrector. And then next, I just go in with my little concealer, and I always put it like under my eyes, underneath my foundation, because I feel like it works better for me that way. And then I just went in with my foundation and evened it all out, and then I'm gonna put powder and set it under my eyes. I'm just gonna use like my job as an example, because it's a perfect way of, like, in society you're taught, or at least like it's a societal norm that like, oh, your set career, like you go to college for 4 years even though you're like 18 right? And you probably have no idea what you want to do, or your interests changed. For 4 years, and 18 you're like, oh, you're supposed to know everything of what you're going to be doing the rest of your life. I don't think that's true. And for some people maybe that is, and that's okay, but it's also okay to change. And I just wanted to use that like as an example, but you can apply it to any area in your life. Like for me, like for example, for acting, like I just randomly one day, I grew up dancing and performing my whole life, and it was such a creative outlet for me. And I feel like sometimes creativity and our imagination and what we did as a kid is removed from our adult life, but really that's like can be such an important part of who we are and our soul, and like what is soul fulfilling to you, you know what I mean? And so, you know, I'd worked so hard in the medical career, and I'd even done like a lot of internships and worked my butt off, like my booty off, during that time of my life, even though I was a teenager and in my early 20s, and I was going through a lot. But I was so dead set on that specific area and that being my only thing. And it really was a passion because I was helping people. But one day I just felt so called to it. It literally came out of nowhere. Like, nobody was telling me to do it. I had never done acting before. I'd done dance and performing, but I've never specifically done acting. And one day I was like researching them online. I literally just Googled it because I don't know why. Like, you know, when you do things and you don't really know why, but you keep feeling like you need to do it, that is your intuition. Anyway, so I felt so called and so drawn to it, and I literally signed up for like the intro class to it the day before. And they don't always have seats open, right? And they did. And that one decision and following that one gut instinct literally changed my whole life. All of my really close soul friends that I've met have literally been through that, because we can all be creative and be who we truly are. And maybe that's who I authentically am at my core. And it can sound so scary because I knew nothing about it. Right? I never done it before. I was completely learning, you know, in front of the whole class. Like, sometimes you'll perform and you've never done it before, but you perform in front of a bunch of strangers, right? But that taught me so much about myself, and I never had like previous experience. And within just like a few weeks or months of doing it, and then I got the opportunity to be in short films. Never done that before, but it was so fun and so soul fulfilling. And it's crazy how, you know, we get these little inklings inside and sometimes we can ignore it. And I feel like it all comes down to like our comfort level as humans, right? Because sometimes it can feel hard because we want to protect ourselves. Like, our gut instinct as people is to protect ourselves. And and then I'm just going in with some bronzer, but to protect ourselves and, you know, to do things that we have always known. And I know sometimes our brain will lead us down paths of things that we've already done because maybe we're used to that and we know that that's going to be solid and that that's going to work out. But what if that little like feeling or your gut instinct was telling you that it's going to work out? Right? Because I truly don't believe we have desires to do things or like want to venture off into something new or meet that person or do that activity or, you know, go to that school if it wasn't for a reason. You know, I feel like there's always that one thing, and I don't know, you can really start from nowhere, just like my experience with my acting class, right? I had no previous experience. I took that leap to like meet new people too, and to do something that even though I had no experience in, it wasn't in my comfort zone, and it led to somewhere so beautiful for me. That's also why like I believe it's never too late, right? It never is too late, and your life can change so quickly with literally in a day. And sometimes if you're feeling stuck or you feel like it's too late or you've been in something for so long, that doesn't mean that tomorrow can be different or today can be different. You know how like even like crazy things that you don't plan for happen in your life and it changes so quickly but you didn't see it coming? That can also happen with good things. You ever had that feeling too, like you feel like you put in a lot of work but you don't feel like you're at the point where you think you should be or where you think you want to be? You know what I mean? Because I've definitely felt that way. I've definitely experienced that even this year. But then, and I know it's so hard, but sometimes like looking at the bigger perspective of things, because we don't necessarily always know what's coming. I always come across these videos and these quotes of people being like, well, maybe that's exactly where you're meant to be. And I feel like sometimes even if we can't see it, where we're meant to be in that moment is for a reason and it's for a purpose. I feel like this year was a really, really transformational year for me, as I know it's probably for you and for a lot of us, because so much around us is changing in our world, you know, as well. So like it would be hard not to change, which is a good thing because I think we're looking at a lot of the roots. But I feel like this year for me was such a big healing journey and change. Like I changed so many different things, and it's really crazy how when you heal inside parts of yourself, so many things in your outside world changes and you start, you know, doing things differently, and you know, will be around new people who fit more of who you are and who you're aligned to. So, you know, sometimes where it starts is in the inside. I think all the time, actually. But anyway, so I'm really excited for this new year because I feel like I've got a good basis, solid foundation in myself, and I feel like I didn't necessarily always have that. But it's because I've really taken a different look at what I've been through and what knowledge and wisdom I can take from that into this new version of me. Okay, this next part is literally my favorite part. I love highlighter. And then I also just go in with the NYX eyebrow gel. Let me know down below in the comments, what is something that you're looking forward to this year, or something that you're changing, or even if you're feeling like a little bit scared about it, let me know. And let's talk, because we're all human. We're all doing this thing that we call life together. Make sure to go check out my book, because every time you buy a book on my website, I sign it and I put a little note in there and I send it to you, and that fills my whole heart and my whole soul. And then go check out my Instagram, link down below. You can always DM me. But yeah, I'm gonna go get ready because I'm gonna go to lunch and I'm gonna go eat some yummy tacos. But I love you so freaking much, and stay tuned for next week's video.